Horse games have been around for quite a while, letting players dive into the world of owning and riding horses without a real-life hassle. They've been pretty popular, especially among girls, but the gaming industry didn't pay them much attention for a long time. There were only a couple of good horse games, and that was really it. I'm sure we can all remember playing old nostalgic games like Horse, Bellacera, My Horse, Riding Club Championships, and many others. Those were the good days. After many games that were present in the early 2000s, the horse gaming market became severely neglected, but luckily things have changed in the past few years. Finally, we're seeing more awesome horse games coming out. It's like the gaming world woke up and realized that there are a bunch of people who love virtual horses. It's a good time to be into horse games, the industry is paying more attention, and players have a lot more options. So if you're a fan of horse adventures, get ready for some exciting times ahead in the world of gaming. The standout game on the global stage, and arguably the best, is undoubtedly Star Stable Online. I'm aware of other games like Red Dead Redemption, but today we're focusing solely on the equestrian experience. If you haven't given Star Stable a go yet, I highly recommend it. Despite its flaws, it's a fantastic game, especially for horse enthusiasts. Today, I wanted to mix things up a bit. In this video, I want to shine a spotlight on some other fantastic horse games that have been released in the past year. And just to be clear, the order I'm presenting them in won't follow any specific ranking. It's all about enjoying the unique features each game brings to the table. But before you get started, I want to point out that while some games can seem a little pricey, they do have frequent discounts and giveaways going on. So if you can't afford to buy a new game right now, maybe wait for a little while, and this goes especially for the games that are available on Steam. And another disclaimer that I feel like I have to include is that many of these games are still in the early stages of development, so they're not complete at all. If you want to support the developers and play new horse games, make sure to buy them, but at the same time, since there's often a fairly unknown indie studio working on the games, you run the risk of them stopping the game development and just completely abandoning the game with no notice. So be cautious while supporting the games. Check if they post regular news and updates, if they have some social media where they connect with the community. Trust your instincts and don't spend the money you cannot afford to. As always, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you do, make sure to subscribe, it really means a lot. And now, without any further ado, let's dive into the exciting world of the best new horse games of 2024. If what you want is a cozy gaming experience that revolves around horses, you should definitely try the Ranch of Rivershine. The game was released in May of 2023 by an indie developer, OZB Games, and while it's still in an early access, there are already quite a few things you can do in the game. Set in a beautifully crafted world, the primary storyline revolves around your endeavor to rejuvenate the Rivershine Ranch and restore its former glory. Beware, some parts of the game can be pretty grindy, so progress can be a little slow. A big way in which this game differs from a lot of other new games is that there is no horse customization. You can equip your horses with any tack you want, but you can choose its markings, coat color, or similar details. You can get new horses by buying them at the auction, catching wild horses, or breeding your own. Just pick a pair from your mares and stallions and breed your own foals. They have this adorable cartoon style that goes along very well with the whole cozy aesthetic of the game. In the game, you care for your horses by feeding them, giving them treats, brushing them, mucking their stalls, and you can also move them between your stable and the pasture based on their needs. After taking care of your horses, you can relax by riding the trails and admire the scenery, or if you want something a little challenging, you can go to the riding arena to improve the horse's skills such as speed, endurance, flexibility, and jumping. After you're done training, you can participate in beginner and intermediate cross-country competitions to win prizes and help Rivershine Town become famous again. You can improve the ranch by upgrading different buildings such as pastures, the arena, or the stable. With time, you can also upgrade the auction house and build new obstacle courses. The world of the game is really beautiful and not small by any means. There's a village with a few shops, and as I mentioned before, there are quite a few cute areas where you can take your horse for a little ride. The game is available on Steam for $24.99. If you want to play a realistic horse game inspired by everyday scenarios and different types of stable environments and horse sports, with a focus on horse behavior and care, riding, and training process, Horse Life Simulator might just be the game for you. The game has been under development by Fredrickson Games for 2 years, with 2 people working on it, but they have since stated that they're expanding their team, so the development of the game will be smoother and faster. The game will be a real-time open-world RPG building non-quest-based simulator. In simpler terms, instead of having to complete quests and similar story-based tasks in the game, the focus will be on realistic horse care, riding, and training. I actually found out about this game from TikTok, where it suddenly blew up with people pointing out the game's amazing jumping animations. The game currently has a horse creator where you can do basic customization stuff, that being the coat color, mane, and tail, and you can also choose your horse's tack. The horses look pretty good for what they are, with pretty realistic and responsive animations. The disciplines that the creators focused on in the game are dressage, show jumping, and cross country, and as a bonus, you can also play the game in first person. The locations currently available in the game are the stable box, stable front and stable back, jumping and dressage arena, riding hall, round pen, eventing field, wash bay, and a paddock. Currently, it will be pretty hard to actually play the game as it is in early access, and the developers have just started giving out some limited Steam keys to play the game. And they have just announced that they sadly will not be giving out any more Steam keys, but in the future, to get one of the Steam keys, you should participate in the giveaways that they hold and be active on the Patreon to see when they're going to give out some more Steam keys. Horse Project is an indie game about horsemanship and equestrian sports on early stages of development and available on PC only. The basis of the game is developing the relationships between a human and the horse, so player goal is to be attentive to the horse, understand its behavior, and meet its needs. The main activities in the game include horse caring, riding, exploring the world, horse training, participating in competitions, completing quests, and more. The game is being developed by a single developer who works on the game in their free time. Despite that, they post regular updates to their Discord server, and the game looks pretty promising. The game is on the more realistic side and has a really long list of planned features that include anything from realistic behavior patterns for the horses with several emotional states that will affect the horse's animations, complex and realistic riding mechanics, a wide variety of horse and player interactions, and much more. It's important to keep in mind that at least for now, most, if not all of these things are just ideas that the developer is planning to add to the game in the future, and since the list is so long, I wouldn't really count on it, at least not in the near future. As of now, you can download a really early version of the game from their website. The current gameplay includes advanced horse riding mechanics, horse jumping with striding system, the ability to pat your horse, an extensive horse creator with various breed, coat color, height, skill, and personality options. The game has a few different locations such as the arena that you can customize to some extent, stables, outdoor arena, and the surrounding forests. While I really like the scenery around the arena, just look at the nature, it looks absolutely amazing. But at this point, I feel like the developers should try to make something a little bit different. I'm not trying to bash this specific game, but I do look at all of these different games and they're all situated somewhere in the middle of a forest with beautiful plains and trees surrounding the area. And while it does look amazing, and I guess that's just how things are for a lot of barns, I wish there was more variety. For now, there is no release date for the game, but again, you can try out the pre-alpha version, which you can download on their website. There's another horse game with a cozy look on the horizon. The visuals have a very similar vibe to the Ranch of Rivershine, and honestly, I really like how both games embraced a more cartoony and cute style instead of an overly realistic one, because at least for me, most of the horses in the realistic horse game genre just look a little off. I know they're more realistic again, but I kind of prefer these ones. I can't help it. They're just so adorable. Now onto the actual game, which is called Fernhoof Grove. It is still in its very early development and it was started in August of 2022. The game doesn't have a release date yet, but is planned to be released on Steam for PC as a one-time purchase with no microtransactions. Fernhoof Grove is a small town with a beautiful scenery, and it is also the home of a riding academy, the Hoof Academy, that has over the years lost its prestige. The game will focus on becoming a better rider and completing various riding challenges while also caring for your horse and strengthening your bond. Advancing through these riding challenges will unlock new areas within the world with beautiful forests and fields for you to explore. The game will have 3 different horse breeds, those being a sporty warmblood, a tall draft, and a charming pony. All of the breeds will come in a wide variety of coat colors, patterns, and markings, and they will also all have their own skills and personalities. I really love when games give our horses personalities. It makes them feel so much more alive, and I feel like it makes the game so much more immersive, but this is definitely one of those things that can be kind of hard to execute well. Despite the differences in breeds, you'll be able to train and compete at the highest level with all of them, which isn't the most realistic, but it does provide the players with the enjoyment of playing with any horse with no downsides. You can increase the bond between you and your horse by going for a ride in the forest or completing courses. As the bond progresses, the way your horse will interact with you will change, for example, horse reacting differently to hugs or seeing the player. Players can care for the horse by performing basic tasks, and you can even braid your horse's mane. While not ridden, the horses will spend their time either resting at the stall or roaming the pasture. To get more horses, you'll have to upgrade your home stable, which will provide space for additional horses. The game will have 3 main disciplines: show jumping, cross country, and dressage, and as I stated in the beginning, the game is not out yet, but once it will be out, it will be available on Steam. If you want to play a horse game that offers you the ultimate horse experience, giving you the freedom to follow your own dreams and create your own unique story, you should definitely be on the lookout for Unbridled, that horse game. The game is being developed by a small team of developers and has a planned release date for late 2024 with the one-time fee for early access, which will be around €30. The game had an early demo available to download. I think I actually tried out this game a couple of months ago when it was first released, but I can't remember why I didn't upload a video about it. Anyway, they recently launched a closed beta of the game, but again, that is not really available for the wider audience. They do have a mini version of the game that you can download on Steam though. It is Unbridled Horse Designer, where you can design horses with a wide variety of customizable options, from horse personality and favorite snack to coat color, and even small details like eye color, lashes, whiskers, different markings, and mane styles. You can really create your dream horse. Back to the actual game, the closed beta release of the game included a multiplayer options with a cross-country course, a campfire spot, an outside arena, and a spacious arena for trail riding. Some starter quests, extensive horse and player customizing options, roaming horses, and of course a riding system that included many advanced animations. The game will initially be released as an early access game, which means that it will not come as a finished product and will be receiving frequent updates. The early access will include a beautiful world, ready-made riding system, different horse breeds, competitions, the ability to buy, sell, and breed horses, and you will also be able to build and design your own farm. Similarly to other horse games, they're also very ambitious about the things they plan to add to the game. Some of those include an in-depth character customization with quite a few unique activities like gardening, fishing, and archery. Similar to your character, you'll also have many options to customize your horse that we already talked about before. You can care for your horses by feeding and brushing them, picking their hooves, making sure they're happy and healthy, and taking care of their stalls. This game will offer a realistic equestrian experience with a riding and jumping system. You'll also be able to improve your horse's skills with training and later participate in dressage, show jumping, cross-country, and western competitions. The early access of the game will be released at the end of this year and will cost you $30, but as mentioned in the beginning, you can already try their horse creator. Want to take care of your four-legged friends in need while also being able to ride and customize the area? Then you should try Animal Shelter, or more specifically Horse Shelter DLC, that offers a plethora of ways to interact with horses. The DLC was released in early 2023 by Games Incubator and Playway SA. The main objective of the game is to become a veterinarian and look after, treat, give shelter to animals under your care, and find them a suitable new home. The Horse Shelter DLC provides a few new features, which are obviously horses, horse shelter area, horse riding, new buildings and objects, new decorations, and more equestrian mechanics for horse care, feeding, and cleaning. To be honest, the horses don't look the best and their manes are absolutely atrocious, but this game offers a completely new horsey experience compared to the other games on the market. You can take care of the horses, tag them up, customize their mane length, ride in first person, and complete some courses. Though there is a big downside if you're one of the people that like to collect all of the achievements in the game, as the ones in this specific game will take you a ridiculous amount of time. The base game costs €20, but it is currently discounted and costs only 10, and then the Horse Shelter DLC will cost you additional €27, but this one is also having a 55% discount now, so it costs about €12. As I said in the beginning of the video, with games on Steam, it is sometimes worth to wait a couple of weeks as they often have discounts going on. If you're looking for a horse game with a completely different style, look no further than Rising Star, which is a 2D pixelated horse game that gives off similar vibes to games such as Stardew Valley. The game is being developed by Stinky Cat Studio and currently has no release date. And before I get us both too excited, it seems like the future of this game is up in the air, as it doesn't have a Discord server or some other social media, and the last Steam update was posted in September of last year. Anyway, Rising Star is a relaxing horse care simulator game with immersive horsemanship tasks and management features. Your grandpa owns a stable, which was the place of one of the most important equestrian academies of Tuscany. But now you're old enough to take care of it, and it's your turn to bring the academy to shine again. The game has some really cute horses and characters. The look of the game is really unique, and I feel like that's a really crucial element needed to stand out now that the horse gaming market is becoming a little oversaturated. As of now, the developers have shown us that the game will include show jumping training, and later on they will also add show jumping competitions. There are a ton of minigames with which you'll be able to complete different tasks and activities. You can take care of your horses, horses by cleaning their stalls, giving them food and water, and preparing special food for them. You'll also have the ability to upgrade and automate some buildings like horse stalls where you won't have to worry about giving your horse water or food. And you'll also be able to find out more information about the backstories of the horses in the game, spend the money that you earn in different shops, and there will also be some quests that you can take part in while playing the game. The game is not out yet and doesn't really have a release date, but once it will be out, it will be released on Steam. But again, I do want to give a disclaimer that this game appears to be a little abandoned, at least for now, as there hasn't been any update for it since the beginning of September, as I said before. I hope it gets picked up again because it looks really cute and unique, but the developer is a single person that also has a full-time job, so they either took a break or just decided to completely stop the game development. In 2023, Sims 4 came out with a Horse Ranch expansion pack, so all of you Sims lovers can now live out your horsey dreams within your favorite game. While the game is definitely not the best equestrian-wise, it can definitely be a really good game on the role-playing part of things. There is a bunch of character and horse customization, and you can even download a bunch of mods that can make everything look so much better and feel so much more realistic. In the game, you can bond with your horse by interacting and spending time with it. You can fall off your horse, give it some treats, and as the bond between you two grows stronger, riding will become smoother and the horse will stop bucking you off. Horses can have multiple temperaments and you can improve their skill in agility, jumping, and racing. This is another game where you can breed horses, but of course you can also just purchase them. In the Chestnut Ride Equestrian Center, you can test your horse's skills with a wide range of competitions, challenges, and other activities that will lead you to the championship, though all of the actual competitions take place off screen, so it is very anticlimactic. The base game for Sims 4 became free in 2023, but the expansion pack costs €40, and again, while it's definitely not the best equestrian game, it can be fun if you like the way that the Sims games work with their whole story-driven gameplay, customization, and interactions. So what do you think about all these games, and will you be trying any of them? It's been really nice to see so many new games created in the past few years, as the horse gaming market was neglected for decades. And though there are definitely some sketchy games here and there, and games that stop being developed without any notice, I'm still cautiously optimistic about the future of horse games. Are there any new horse games that you play and I didn't talk about in this video? Make sure to share them in the comments down below. I hope you enjoyed as always, and I'm gonna see you in the next video. Bye!